for Sports Talk Worldwide with a little news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now I done told you guys a few times, I am not above telling you I told you. I'm not gonna be above that. You know? If I said I told you, then I told you. Notice I got an empathy cap on today, so you get one on as well if you want to follow me here. All right? This news is about your boy Andre Ward, right? And first off, let's get something straight. Andre Ward's last fight with Kovalev was so close, no matter what you thought, it was a close fight. And I would love to see the rematch. Who wouldn't? We all want to see a rematch when a fight is that close against two very, very good fighters. So that's first of all. But I did a video about Ward going to England recently to commentate on that fight with Chris Eubank Jr. and Renald Quinlan, right? I told you he's going to get a little love over there, things that he doesn't get in America, right? He gets the total opposite for a long period of time. We're talking about one of our last gold medal winners, right? Super Six winners. He doesn't get his respect, right? And I knew going to England, it was going to be something that was going to just be a little bit different for him and remind him of how he should be treated, where people appreciate what his accomplishments up to now, not up all in his face talking about what you're going to still do, what you've done up until now. And sometimes boxers need to hear that to understand that they're, if not loved, appreciated. I think that's more important than loved. I think they just want to be appreciated for what they've done. And you get that in England now, regardless of how you look, right? And that for him is, a shock, a little culture shock. And I knew that was going to happen. And judging from what his trainer Virgil Hill, I keep calling him that, Virgil Hunter has been saying recently, it's like I told you, right? He goes to England and to broadcast the fight. And in the States, they tell him, well, you can't really even broadcast, right? Because you're an active fighter. Now, he's already got the job in England, so he's going to be doing some broadcasting over there moving forward. I knew it. And as far as Andre Ward goes, he's been through a lot of things. You're talking about the guy that was in the 168 pound division, that super middleweight division, unified it, done all of those things, and a guy in the Triple G, Golovkin, was at 160 and a monster, right? So I did the video calling him the real monster hunter because he actively went after Triple G, the puncher, and tried to offer him 50-50, and Triple G didn't accept the fight. Talked about that. So HBO wanted him to get away from that. So they told him to go move up to fight another killer, a division higher than him. Now you're telling this guy who doesn't have punching power to go fight monsters. One doesn't want to fight him, right? After stating that he wanted anybody in the one from 168 to 154. He didn't want to fight Ward for some reason. We know what the reason is. And then Ward goes up against a bigger fighter, a taller fighter, outweighed him with reach, punching power, all those things, and goes in there and we could say gave him a competitive fight. He wins the fight, but we all know it's competitive. Some say Kovalev won, some say it should be a draw. Some say Ward won, especially in the later rounds. Whatever. We can agree on competitive. But Ward is the guy with no power and was just moving up in weight. So he did a pretty good job regardless. But the judges had it all for Ward. But HBO and all of those guys all of a sudden became judges and he didn't get his just due. Right? And even years before that, when Ward was going through litigations with Goosen, his promotion company, trying to get a decent deal, no one would listen to his point of view. Right? Just labeled him as a disgruntled fighter, especially African-American fighter. Just disgruntled, and that's it. So, he just didn't get his reputation, took a hit there. And, in every poll that you talk about, if you're talking about Andre Ward, you would hear inactivity, right? And he's a diva and these things. So he's been misrepresented from his point of view, right? So these are the things that, you go through so much in your career. You get a little bit upset at some point, right? And you're like, this is not what a champion should be treated like, right? So his Virgil Hunter is saying, well, a retirement, it possibly could be. It could be a retirement or going to England and fighting Chris Eubank Jr. or James DeGale, maybe George Groves. But he was saying, and I quote Virgil Hunter, he said, what's the incentive? It's not about a rematch. It's about, do they appreciate you, right? And this is where these guys are right now, right? So they've been through a lot, and I told you England really looks good to him just because of the appreciation factor, right? And I think we need to learn something about that up in America, man. We are very divided. There's a lot of things going on now that just shows how obvious we're divided, right? And let's not just start saying, well, this guy here is a Ward fan or whatever. What is he talking about? Take that damn empathy cap off. No, I don't got no time to be listening to nothing about empathy. I don't care about Ward's well-being. Well, you guys are Terminators, right? You don't have any feelings. You don't want to have any empathy for anybody. You're driven by something that is unrivaled, and that's hate. You have to deal with those issues. Let's get it together. We're bigger than that. Keep repeating, right? Let's feel with this guy, right? Give him his respect. He's not going to be out fighting too much longer. Let's give him his respect, and maybe he'll try to fight here in America. Thing is, my advice is go to where people appreciate you. Go to where people appreciate you, earn your money, get your accolades, because most of the time, what our problem is, we don't appreciate nobody until they're retired and long retired. Then we start getting our appreciating on. Too late then. Appreciate them while they're doing it. Sometimes, you're watching royalty right in front of your eyes and you don't realize it until it's just gone. Let's try to do something against that. And another thing, get you an empathy cap. Don't miss Sports Talk Worldwide, and I'm up out of here.